Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for joining us on this first Monday of the month. You know what time it is. It is time for a quick recap, or preview, I should say, of the upcoming issue of InDepth. As always, I am Menduno, joined by the rock star over to my side there, Mr. Michael Menduno. Before we actually get into what you can expect to see on this upcoming issue of InDepth, guys, as always, please be sure, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and please be sure, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, hit that like button, and make sure that you know when all of our videos are coming out by hitting that notification bell. Other than that, just a small disclaimer, I know some of you liked the music on our first video, some of you didn't. We did try the second video without music to accommodate our amazing dive community, just to see how does the video feel without music. Personally speaking, I thought it felt a bit flat. Michael agrees, a few other people agree, so the music's back.
Gotta have music.
You gotta have some music. Spring in the step. I hope that doesn't put everyone off. But enough about that. You guys know what to do. Thumbs up, notification bell. Now on to the good stuff. Mr. Michael Menduno, welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good to be here. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah.
Right, so without obviously ever giving anything away, because we want people to be reading your content. But Michael, for those of you who are new to this little series that we're doing, who are you, what do you do, and where can the people find your work?
So my name is Michael Menduno. I'm the editor-in-chief of InDepth magazine, also a contributing editor with Dan Europe. You can find us at indepth.blog or gue.com/blog, and that'll take you to InDepth. And here to talk about our new issue coming out next week. We're working away hard at it right now. And I think we have some really exciting stuff to share with everybody.
And again, for those of you coming in for the first time, what is InDepth? How often does it come out?
So InDepth is GUE's contribution to the global tech diving, serious diving community. It's a monthly magazine, online magazine. Push out news stories via email. If you're a subscriber, you get the email to say, hey, we got some new cool stories. And then you can go to the website. Anyone can go to the website and read the stories there. So that's what it's about. Yeah.
Easy peasy. Right. So, I mean, I've been given a little teaser of what's coming up this month, and let's give that now to the audience. So, I mean, I think we'd be crazy not to start with the cover story. So
yes. Well, we started by asking the big question, and that's, can we save our ocean planet? Big question, and we got the perfect person to answer it. Environmental hero, activist, founder of Greenpeace, and more recently, Sea Shepherd, Captain Paul Watson. Our managing editor, Amanda, interviewed him, and it's pretty remarkable. He is, he has been at this, he told us a story, he's been at this for 60 years. He made a decision in his life 60 years ago to focus on protecting animals and the planet. And he's been at it for ever since. When he was 10 years old, he made this pledge, and he's been at it for 60 years. Paul looks a little like Gandalf the White come to save Middle Earth, and I think he's doing a pretty hell of a good job doing it. It's pretty amazing. You know, Sea Shepherd has taken the approach of aggressive nonviolence, that is confronting people like whalers and illegal fisher people, etc., to stop them. They are now in 42 countries, and pretty interesting. You know, they were regarded as sort of the radical fringe eco-terrorist pirates back in the day. Yeah. And now, of course, as I said, Time magazine voted him an environmental hero of the 20th century. And they actually have contracts with more than a dozen countries, like Galapagos, Ecuador, some African countries, to actually be the patrol and protect their waters, their national waters, from illegal poaching, etc. They've been very successful at this. They have 6 or 7 active campaigns going right now to protect the vaquita dolphin, wild salmon, sea turtles, etc. And so it's really an amazing interview, his perspective on all this and some of the stuff they're doing.
I am dying to read that interview. Paul Watson, since I can remember, has been one of my heroes. some of you may not know him. If you don't, I encourage you to head over to Netflix and watch a documentary called Shark Water, because that's kind of, I think that's what put him in the non-diving or non-activist public eye. Because I think, you know, you go back 15, 20 years, if you were involved in diving, you knew who the hell Paul Watson was. Maybe some people didn't necessarily, and Shark Water, thankfully, definitely put him at the forefront of that.
But Whale Wars is another, the TV show Whale Wars. I'm sure they have that over in the UK as well as here. Yep.
Oh yeah, good stuff. Good fun for the whole family. But no, he's one of my heroes. Like, I mean, I did everything I could when I was diving more actively over in Southeast Asia to try and stop local communities shark finning. So that was something I was very involved with. But I mean, not on his scale. And he was just, you know, I worship at the altar of Paul Watson. It was just, he's an amazing man. And I wish there were more of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Interestingly, most people don't know, he was involved with us back in the early days. He wrote for Aquacore, my magazine back in the day. In fact, we're posting that with the interview, a piece he wrote for our Shipwreck issue called Why I Sink Ships. And it was this story of sinking a good portion of the Icelandic whaling fleet in harbor. So quite good. And also a talk that he gave at the Tech 95 conference in San Francisco. So we have that as well in there. So
yeah, I'm dying to read that. But yeah, I don't want to give more away.
Read the interview. It's amazing. I
read the interview. I can't suggest that.
Very moving.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, okay, I'll be real with you now. I've been in lockdown for a very, 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 very long time. 2020 needs to end. I just want to put the Christmas tree up now and just be done with this year. Yeah. I need to go diving. Now, where I'm based, I hear you got some stuff for me.
We have a couple of really good exploration stories. You know, if you're tired of sumps and solo cave diving, then you might be interested in this new story by John Glanfield. It's on UK mines, flooded mines. The UK is filled with tin mines, old copper mines, slate mines, limestone mines, you know, throughout the UK. And so John has done a great piece on UK mine diving. And this is where you can actually dive as a team because there's enough room. There are no sumps. And so it's a really interesting piece, including a listing of all the top mines. We have a second piece by a young, poetic Italian explorer who's written for us before, Andrea Murdoch Alpini. And his story is about his love affair with the Italian Titanic, the Viminale, the MV Viminale. And so he talks about this as a wreck. I think it's deeper than about 100 meters, and his story with it. So it's two good exploration stories from the continent.
But you have to say it the proper way. Viminale. Viminale.
Viminale. Yes. So on my list, I'll visit at some point.
Where is that wreck based? I know you said in Italy. Whereabouts?
Palmi, Italy.
Palmi. Okay, cool. Nice.
So that's on the east, mid Italy on the east coast, I think.
Yep.
Reggio area. Yeah.
See, right. See, you wanted to. I mean, it wouldn't be an in-depth video without talking something technical related. So, what do you got?
So it's actually news. You probably heard that song. Where have all the sensors gone? La, da, 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 da. We have a piece on the global sensor shortage. This is from one of our authors, Riley Fogarty, who writes for us regularly. And as you probably know, if you've tried to get a sensor for your rebreather or for your oxygen analyzer, they're in very short supply right now. That is due to the pandemic. About 50% of the sensor market is medical. And so they are just taking, companies are working overtime to meet the demand, pandemic-driven demand for oxygen sensors. So Riley gives us kind of an outlook and when it all may end. Yeah.
May sound like a stupid question, and if you are avid tech divers watching this video and that's why you're on the channel, thank you, welcome. But some of us aren't, and for those of you who are finding this video and who may not be technical divers, Michael, what is an oxygen sensor?
So an oxygen sensor is a device. It's actually a sort of a battery-like device that measures oxygen levels, partial pressure of oxygen. So it's essential for a rebreather, which maintains a constant partial pressure of oxygen in your breathing loop, and then for oxygen analyzers to be able to know what nitrox mix you have. You run the gas through the oxygen sensor, and it basically puts out voltage proportional to the PO2. So they're essential. And in fact, that was the limiting technology of mixed gas rebreathers. There were no mixed gas rebreathers until the 60s, when someone invented a reliable oxygen sensor. So that was the pacing technology, if you will.
Yeah, this shortage issue, I think it even predates COVID. I'm sure COVID hasn't helped, because I remember, 5 years ago, just before we closed down our dive center in Southeast Asia, we were out there for a good 10 years, loving life, yada, yada. And we obviously, did nitrox diving a lot. But on an island which was, this isn't an understatement, saturated with dive centers, it was hard finding an oxygen analyzer.
Really
hard.
Yeah.
So,
It might be like a lot of markets where the demand and supply are very close. So they're building just enough to satisfy demand. So if there are any, hiccups in supply or spikes in demand, then it creates shortages. So
defo. Sad news next. I'll let you lead with it.
Well, we've lost another one of our giants, a man named Lad Handelman. He's probably best known in the commercial diving world. He and a few other people, in fact, we had a story about this in last issue, Dan Wilson, pioneered the use of helium mixes in commercial gas diving and commercial diving. And this was started in the 1960s. Lad went on with some others to form a company called Oceaneering, which is probably one of the best known global diving contractors, commercial diving contractors. What people don't know, he was also very instrumental in the early days of tech diving. So, and was involved with both the tech conference and my magazine Aquacore. He was a board of directors. Laddie and I met after I had published my first issue, and I got a call, and he goes, "Hi, this is Lad Handelman, and I want to tell you what I think of the magazine and the kinds of dives you're doing." I go, "Yeah, please." And he goes, "I think you're all crazy, and I think you're all going to kill yourselves." And I went, "What?" And so this led to a 30-year discussion on diving and diving safety. And Lad was commercial diving is very safe. Very safe. And so he was a tireless advocate for diving safety, which we really needed in the early days of tech diving, where there were a lot of fatalities. So we're going to have a memorial to him in the issue, and some of the early materials too.
He was a friend of yours, wasn't he?
He was a close personal friend. Yeah, he was really an amazing guy, known around the world, and later got involved in commercial diving, but hyperbaric medicine and treatment centers with chambers and the like. And just a sweetheart. Yeah.
Sorry for your loss.
He will be missed. Thank you. Yeah.
And you hinted this at the top of the show, your involvement with Dan Europe. So
yes. Well, so Dan Europe has just launched their new, inspired by Patty. I'd like to give them a shout out, but their Dive Local campaign. As you know, international travel is not happening very much right now.
Not so good.
And not so good. And it looks like with this rise in cases again around the world, it's going to be a while before we get to travel. So the focus should be on local diving to help support dive centers, etc. And Dan Europe is doing a whole campaign around this, and a real focus. They're even going to create a local diving insurance product. So if you're not traveling, you can still get insurance. Most of the national health systems, provide good health care, but do very little with diving. And if you've ever gone to a non-diving dock with a problem related to diving, it's just a waste of time. And really, Dan Europe, I've come to see as really a kind of our diving support network. You know, they offer a lot of resources, medical consultancy. You can even do a risk analysis of your dives. If you send them the dives you plan to do or your profiles, they will give you a risk analysis, you know, based on their Guardian software. So anyway, so we're featuring them in the issue as well, and their new campaigns. So yeah, so it's going to be a good, and we have other things as well. People will just have to look at their email, subscribe and get their emails, or go to the site. We'll be launching next Thursday, this Thursday, I should say, on November 5th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey. So, I mean, guys, I say this literally every single month when we do this little catch up with Michael. You've got an industry legend sitting to my side here who's giving you content that is, and I cannot emphasize this enough, free.
It's free content, yes. It's free. Feed your head.
It's like, and you know, if there was ever a month to sign up, it's now. You're literally getting an interview with Captain Paul Watson. It's awesome. Just do it. If you can hit the bell on the YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button and hit that like, you can get notified. Also, you can also, you know, do the notifications for Mr. Michael over. I'll get my directions right in a moment. There. Hate that mirror effect in video. Which way? Amateur out here. But guys, no, we're going to keep it short because I do know that Michael is incredibly busy with actually getting this article out on time. So I will cut it there. Michael, thank you as always so much.
Thank you, Nico. Yeah, this was really fun. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And be sure to get your copy of InDepth this coming Thursday. And I hope you enjoy it.
Just remind people where they can get it.
InDepth.blog or GUE.com/blog. And if you sign up, it's free, then you'll get the email notifications when new stories come out. So I would recommend that.
Easy peasy, guys. You can't miss it. And as always, you've seen, I am a man of my word. We are now with the relaunch of the YouTube channel. We've had a full month in progress since then. We haven't missed a Monday. I promised you would be getting weekly content. You got it. It's coming. I really appreciate all of the really, really, really warm feedback that we got from the top 10 videos. So much appreciated. I wasn't sure how that was going to be received. So thank you from me. Really like the fact that you guys are getting on board with Doros versus Monday. We have got plenty more of all of that coming. I've seen your views for the top 10 video this coming month. You get your wishes, my command. You shall get it. We've got more versus Monday coming from you. Loads of cool stuff coming, guys. And we are working on a few other little projects. So be sure, don't miss anything. Hit the notification bell. Like this video then, please. Hit that like button. And as always, guys, we're going to cut it there. Thank you so much for joining us. Michael, I shall see you next month.
See you next month, Nico. Thank you.